What's going on, everybody? Welcome back again to The Haunted Beard. My name is Jake. Thank you for joining me today. Well, today I want to talk about Glass Onion, the brand new Netflix movie that just dropped, and it's something that's been on my radar for a while. I've been looking forward to it. Got some thoughts here for you. Let's get into this thing. So, I was a pretty big fan of Knives Out, and I had a pretty good time overall with this one as well. And I quite enjoyed this setup here. Obviously, you've got Southern Detective Benoit Blanc, this time traveling to Greece on his latest case, and you've got Ed Norton's character, who is this billionaire who has invited a handful of his friends to this private island in Greece, and he is inviting them to his murder, although it is a murder mystery game. But I like the kind of murder mystery game within a murder mystery movie type of a setup. And here is kind of a similar setup to the Knives Out film, right? You got a handful of kind of these quirky, eccentric type characters all meeting in one location, and of course there's going to be a murder, and Benoit Blanc has to figure out who did it. And I just have to say, this type of movie is pretty much right up my alley. And the recipe for this, the murder mystery whodunit, is something that I don't think I will ever get tired of. This is just a type of movie and a type of story that works for me, and I just can't get enough of. As long as I can't predict who the killer is from a mile out, I'm on board for these types of movies, and it is something that I'm going to enjoy at least to some degree. And I just love sort of the isolated, closed-off location. You got your handful of different characters, your suspects, and of course, not everything is as it seems. They all have different motivations, they all have different secrets, and as the film progresses, those kind of slowly peel back and you kind of figure out more and more stuff. But it is just that sort of, again, mystery whodunit that I just absolutely love. And I think that Glass Onion does a really solid job with its story and its overall mystery. It's something I found myself just getting easily wrapped up in, and I just thoroughly enjoyed the ride throughout its entirety. And this is obviously more of a lighthearted, comedic type mystery thriller, and not all the comedy lands, but there's a handful of pretty good funny moments. Personally, I like my murder mysteries to be a little more on the darker, sinister side, but that's just kind of my own personal sort of nitpick. I think for what this movie is, it's still pretty solid. And I do think the performances overall are good, and I think the characters are good as well. However, I wish there was a little bit more diversity amongst the characters. The vast majority of them are pretty much these narcissistic, sort of self-absorbed, egotistical type people that are just not maybe always the most interesting. And so I wish that there was maybe just a little bit more diversity in their sort of personalities and temperaments. Also, just another minor complaint. But as I said, the performances are solid. Daniel Craig stands out, Ed Norton stands out, but I think Janelle Monae takes the cake. I think her character and her performance is probably the best in this entire movie. She has a bit of a interesting kind of twist and something unexpected regarding her character that I did not expect, but I think she does just a really solid job. I like how the mystery is really constructed. There's kind of three sort of main sections to this thing, and I think a testament goes to some of the editing. The way they chose to edit and structure the story and the mystery here really does a good job in sustaining suspense and sort of maximizing the surprises and the unexpected moments. And this movie is filled with them. It's got pretty much everything you'd want in this type of movie. It's got twists and turns, it's got surprises, and it's got just the good old perception doesn't always equal reality, and there's always something more, there's always a secret, there's always another layer to peel back. And I think the way the film unfolds really just kind of maximizes the impact of all the surprises and twists that it has inside of it. There's a particular thing that this movie does that I thought was actually quite brilliant. And one of the things that I hate when movies do is when they play the audience for dumb. And when you're watching a movie, and it'll get to a point to where it will have a flashback and it will show you something previous in the movie to remind you of what happened, as if you're not paying attention. Because oftentimes movies treat the audience like you're stupid and you don't remember and you weren't paying attention. Well, Glass Onion does that, but they do it in a great way because they actually lie to you with the flashback that they show. And I think it's just kind of a perfect testament to sort of the magic and the manipulation that movies can have, and that it shows you what it wants you to see, not what necessarily is. And this movie has a moment like that where it shows the flashback, but it actually lies, and so it messes with your perception on what really happened, and it kind of plants that seed of doubt. And I just thought it was just a wonderful way to kind of execute that technique. And I just thought it was great. It was just kind of a smaller moment that really stood out to me, that I don't ever remember a movie really doing that way before. And so I thought it was really great. So look, overall, I had a really solid time with Glass Onion. This is just it's just an easy, fun, and entertaining watch. And again, like I kind of said, it's just easy to kind of get wrapped up in. It's a really solid mystery with some really cool characters, some really nice twists and turns, and I think a pretty solid finale as well. And so overall, had a pretty good time here with Glass Onion. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. So those are my thoughts. Thank you so much for joining. Hit me up down in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. Let me know your thoughts on Glass Onion. I know that they are making another one. It's going to be a trilogy, so I'm looking forward to it. But would love to hear your thoughts down below. Let me know what you thought of Glass Onion. So that's all I have for you. Thank you so much for watching. If you like videos like this, hit that subscribe button. This is what I do on the Haunted Beard. Horror and thriller movie content coming at you. And I'll see you next time on the Haunted Beard.